Hello, please excuse me for the frame rate. I cannot record on my native operating system's hard drive because it's too small and the files are too big. So that's why you get these frame rate lags. So, what is this? Welcome to Mudai Video Taku, and this is your host Muffin, mostly seen on this channel. Today, this is TechWise, a show I'm starting on this channel, which I'm gonna explain to you the tips and tricks you can do in your operating system. I am going to make an additional partition to save everything on. For better instance, I'm trying to make a bridge, meaning that I'm going to make a partition in between Linux and Windows for media. Because what I'm doing now is I'm using this program to access my Linux partition to get everything on it. That's not gonna work. I cannot save my saving my videos on the main hard drive will get me a lot more speed with the GUI. But because I don't have a lot of space left, I'm forced to put it on my ADD, which unfortunately isn't as fast as my local hard disk. To show you that my hard disk is fully capable of saving large amounts of data, you can see me going through the menu right now. I'll go to computer management, and by the way, this is an episode about iTunes, so I'm going to teach you how to make your own albums, but first I'm going to show you about why the image is this bad. This is my disk management. I'll show you my hard disk. Oh, it's getting a little bit better. This is my hard disk. It's a 1 terabyte hard disk with the first 3 partitions are all Linux. The rest of 240 gigabyte NTFS is Windows. Linux swap, Linux home, Linux root. See the difference? Now if I'd like to expand this, which I did a lot, is I take a bit of this partition and put it on there, but the problem with that is simple: less space, less anime, more games. You see, if I want more games, I'll expand this, but then at the cost of that I'll have less space for my anime, and anime takes up a lot of space, believe me. So let's get to the point of what this video was about. You know, I like to watch anime, but most of it when I'm on my bicycle riding to school or my education, I'm interested in listening to the theme songs and epicness that's in that music. Well, you got these covers, they're alright, but they're nothing like the original. For instance, just listen. That's terrible. No offense. It's just not nice. The original's a lot better. That's the problem. I couldn't find the original on iTunes. It wasn't there. You only got the cover, which is terrible, unfortunately. So I wasted my money on these 3, not knowing what they sounded like. Now, if you put it aside and you know that you can download stuff, it will look like it will sound a little bit like this. A lot better, although there was one bit of problem which I'm going to check again because I don't hear any bass. Don't tell me I did something wrong, because I hate that. I'll hate myself for that. What did I convert this to? I converted it to M4A, right? Let's create an ACC version of that. I want to know what it sounds like in ACC, just out of curiosity. It should sound a little bit more different. Hey. Not much of a difference between them, but I'll have to listen to it for a while to get that. But this is just the main guide. So what we're gonna do is we got a little Edge. The album is called Edge. So we're gonna open up 2 folders, which you should have at all times. The folder where you got your downloads in, which is gonna be the input. So we're gonna open up music, anime music, Jormungand. Now, before you continue, make sure you have a folder to put the files in this case, M4A. Next up, open up a program. I recommend Free Studio. It's free software. I do not got any bonds with it whatsoever, and it works fantastic. Make sure that you do not select the extras they give you, like the toolbar search. It's slowing down. For the rest, it's a beautiful program, absolutely free, nothing attached to it. It's 1,000,000% free. This is a genuine freeware. No strings attached, not better quality if you pay. You can't even pay. The only thing you can do is donate to keep your project alive. So, this is what you'll need. Make sure you selected the folder M4A. Doesn't really matter, it's just your output folder. Keep it at M4A, original quality. Don't try to pump it up, it will give you unnecessary space. Original quality is the best. So, next up, press the folder. You can do like rename, search, but the easiest thing, just don't do it always. Just press it once, wait 1 second, then press it again. Control C, copy. On Apple, it's Apple C, but I'm not sure if they have this software for that. Then you paste it here, and you open up the file. You grab these, put it in there, select convert. Now, one thing though, you can do this on Linux as well. Look, you can download YouTube videos on Linux using the YouTube DL, or you can use Handbrake for this case to convert the audio on all platforms. I'm not sure if DOSBox is part of that. That's pretty old. So, this is going really quickly, even though I'm assigning a lot of RAM to watch my fraps. So, this is how it will look like when it's finished. It's still working, I know. And most scrappy recording ever. It should be done around now. There we go. Next up, you want to open up your iTunes, assuming you have an iPod. iTunes does, I find it really cool, iTunes does support additional things. They're not like, you know, for instance Microsoft, like, we're not gonna give Linux or Apple Silverlight. They can screw themselves. We don't give a fuck about them. I hate that. That's so self-centered. Luckily there are hackers and people that make third-party software that is emulator for dot. So we got Silverlight on those. Next up, what we're gonna do is, so I can put a Samsung in, it will work. So what we want to do now is we want to go to the songs, right click, enable date edit. Really useful for when you add new albums, because they'll be distorted. They'll have different names, and instead of you having hundreds of albums with the same title, you can center it down to one. So what I'm gonna do is I could put on that, put it on this ascending. It means most recent first. I'm gonna go to File, add folder to Library. Navigate to your output folder and select the folder of the song, the album you had. You're gonna say select folder. It's gonna add it. Wait for the continue. You're gonna select all 4 songs. In this case, all the songs that you have added. You can say get information. It will give. Normally, it will give you a dialogue. You can go ahead and press do not show this again and say OK. Artist. If there's no artist, best thing is various artists. If there's no album artist, just put your own name in it. Make sure you select the album name. You don't want to lose that. And the genre, for this case anime. Album work mostly delivered in these songs, so you can go ahead and look that up, which is here, and that looks pretty neat. You press OK. It's going to apply the settings, and if you look here, we should have this new album. And it sounds amazing. That's from my best protection. Now, how do I put these things on an iPod, you say? Well, step 1, plug it in. Like I'm slamming it in right now. Like, boom. It will mostly automatically sync, or you can do this. Just drag it towards your iPod Touch, which will automatically sync it. But if you just replug it in, or you have it on charger, if you have a 4th generation iPod, it will work fine. And I'm addicted to iOS 7. So let's see. This doesn't take up that much space. I'm amazed. I had like 15 gigabytes of worth of pictures on this thing. That's amazing, isn't it? So, a little tip. I like to give tips away in this program. If you're running This is regarding to what we did the first point in this video. The dual operating system thingy with dual hard drives. A little piece of advice: do not use a mount function, just use the ext2 explorer. I've used EFS plus and such to mount the hard drive. This is how it works. Let's say this is the center. Okay, that's not really appropriate saying this is the center, so I'm just going to put this here. This is the center of your hard drive. Your Linux partition is all the way in the your Linux partition is this is your Linux partition, alright? Keep that in mind. Your Linux partition is probably closest to the center of your hard drive. Your Windows is all the way outcast in that little corner, that forgotten corner. So if my mouse is going to be the needle on your hard drive, writing and reading things. So we need data from the Linux partition, such as music. This is what's going to happen when you have it mounted. Keep close mind. Instead of this, it's going to be this. See? It's going to take more time. It's going to slow down your entire computer, because the needle needs to leave this partition, this part of the hard drive, needs to go all the way to Linux, to Windows, move the files from Linux to Windows. So what I do instead is I use this program to temporarily open up my partition, as you can see, to access my files. And this program does support writing, although I do not recommend it, but it does allow saving. And what that means is that I can download from my hard drive. That's a little tip. Thank you for watching and enjoy your iTunes albums.